Hi, welcome to the Critics.tv. I'm Paul Hackett.
And I'm Kevin Costello. We've got a lot planned for the first episode of Season 2 here at the Critics.tv.
Hey, we've got some movie news from the lovely Emily.
We've got some video game reviews from the less than lovely BoGard.
And 2 movie reviews from the downright ugly Hackett and Costello. We're going to be starting off with Cloverfield, a new film that just came out. Emily, why don't you give us the behind the scenes on that?
Well, thanks, guys. Released on January 18th, Cloverfield is written by Matt Reeves, who is a writer and producer for the hit TV show Lost. The producer of the film, J.J. Abrams, is also well known for his work on Lost and other hit TV shows such as Alias. Abrams is currently filming Star Trek, which is to be released on Christmas Day 2008. The director of the movie, Drew Goddard, has done some work in television, but this is really his first big blockbuster venture. With a running time of about 84 minutes, which is perfect for our short attention spans, Cloverfield is classified as a sci-fi thriller. It was shot in LA and New York, and under a variety of code names. The teaser trailer was actually shot before principal production began on the film. The title, Cloverfield, was originally a code name, and it was actually named after a boulevard in Santa Monica, where the production company, Bad Robot, had its offices during the making of the film. So back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Emily. She knows everything.
Well, that's her job.
Anyway, Cloverfield, in case you've somehow missed this, is a monster movie set in New York City. It's a story about a small band of people and their digital camera trying to survive while giant creatures stomping through the city, knocking over buildings while the military fights it.
I think my favorite thing about this movie happened before it even came out, because one of the things that bothers me is when I go to the movies and I see a preview and they show you every character, they show you all the plot twists, sometimes they even show you the final scene of the movie. And it's, what's the point of going and seeing it then? Whereas Cloverfield, they had that really, trailer that was mysterious and, it left a lot more to the imagination.
Yeah, like the name, it didn't have that in it.
Okay, yeah, they left out the name, but one of the other things they did that I really enjoyed was they had these websites online with clues about what was going on in the movie, and that really made me more excited to go check it out.
I don't know, I missed that whole hype machine. I just went in here looking for a monster movie, and what I feel I got was so much more, because the concept of this movie and the way that it's done is really refreshing. I mean, it's not just your same old standard, monster Texas City genre.
Yeah, it's great because you don't have scientists trying to figure out what's going on, or the military really, fighting this monster, or Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah again.
Yeah, this movie has no mecha Cloverfield going on. It's just a band of, small group of survivors who were at a party, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And, the way that it's done is really exciting. It's a refreshing way. And what's interesting is that when you boil it all away, and you've got a love story. You've got a dramatic story between a guy who's looking for somebody that he loves, and the way that that's told is pretty interesting. And, again, it'd be simple if
it wasn't for the giant monster knocking over buildings and chasing him the whole time.
Yeah, but what's really interesting about it is that, again, the movie's done on a video camera, and there was an old tape in there, movie-wise, that whenever they stop the tape while the monster's attacking, you actually get to see flashbacks of when this guy was with his girl. And
that's one of my favorite things the directors did here, because when you're running for your life and you're in imminent danger, there's really no good time to be like, Kev, do you remember the first time that I met Beth? We hit it off. You can't do that when there's a monster chasing you, but this one was a really smooth way of working the exposition.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I think that the characters themselves in the movie, they really do come alive, because they're not action heroes, they're everyday Joes, so you don't have those big time action lines.
Yeah, when somebody's panicked, you hear the panic because it's just Jesus Christ, everything going on, just screaming. And one of my favorite things about the dialogue, though, had to be the comic relief, because there are some of the funniest lines in this movie I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, they do well. They do well. And I think that another great thing that these characters really bring to it, the suspense, the horror of what's going on around them. There are some really, really great scenes. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's one scene where they're underground, where they have the camera, and then something's attacking them, and it's just, you're on the edge of the seat.
See, I'm going to disagree, because I wasn't on the edge of my seat. And this might just be me on here, but I really didn't feel like for something that's built as an action sci-fi horror that either the action or the horror really come through in this movie. It's just, I never really felt any kind of real fear when they're going in, even when they're going into a really dangerous situation. I didn't feel like I was worried that somebody wasn't going to make it out, and as far as the action, I know that, we should feel more connected to it because we're seeing it in first person, but I felt disjointed from it, and I think that might be because of the camera work.
The camera work, I know it's important for the way it is, and it's one of the things that makes this movie so interesting and so good and so worth seeing, but sometimes it gets a little excessive, because I'm sorry, you shouldn't have to buy a ticket with a barf bag. You shouldn't have to ask the usher for Dramamine when you go see this, because sometimes it's just over the top. I was seeing it with somebody who actually had to leave twice because she felt like she was gonna throw up, and maybe it's me, but I don't think it really enhances the movie experience when halfway through you feel like you're gonna vomit all over the person in front of you.
Yeah, conceptually I agree with the camera work, but at the same time I think maybe if you backed off a little bit, would have made it easier for people to withstand the movie.
Definitely. But, all that aside though, bottom line, this is a great movie, and I say go see it this weekend, go see it, it's amazing. It's a one-of-a-kind movie.
Well, I would say, bottom line, this is an above-average movie. Well, you know what, I don't even know why I'm going to try and go into the negative with you guys. You're definitely going to go and see this movie. And you know what, if you're going to go see it, why not see it in IMAX so it's as big and loud as possible?
Yeah. Or I guess you could miss the movie that all your friends are going to be talking about on Monday and, I don't know, sit at home, play with your Wii alone like a loser. Right, BoGard?
Yeah, I was playing Wii all by myself this whole week. And... So anyways, I was playing Samurai Warriors Katana on my Nintendo Wii. Samurai Warriors is a spin-off game by Koei, who brought us Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is a very popular war simulator. Gameplay in this game is horrid. I'd describe it as a first-person slasher type deal, where you don't actually control your character. You just kind of flail your Wii remote all about killing enemies. You eventually get different weapons like spears, and eventually range weapons like arrows or guns. But still, it doesn't add anything to gameplay. This game includes several modes of play, all of which are boring, dull, and uninviting. The back of the box itself says, enough action to satisfy any warrior. Action? Warrior? What? I guess what it should say is, enough boring to give you cancer. The voice acting in this game is also hard. Just terrible. You can fix it by going to options, but why would you? It's the only thing in the game that'll make you chuckle, and it's just silly. Gameplay is pretty much just flailing your Wii remote all over the place, killing hundreds of enemies that all look alike. And eventually I found myself at one point fighting somebody who seemed to look like Jerome Bettis, the retired running back from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wasn't sure if I was hallucinating at this point or I've actually glimpsed into insanity, and my vision of insanity is fighting Jerome Bettis with a Wii remote. Bottom line, rent, buy, or die. I say just let this game die. I don't want to acknowledge it even exists. I would like to pretend it doesn't exist for the rest of my life. There's many better things you can do than play this game. Fun things like drinking bleach or getting AIDS. BoGard for this. Back to you.
Hey Joel, can we call an ambulance for BoGard? Because, I mean,
Dude, we don't have time. We got another review to do.
Oh.
Dude, The Orphanage?